I know the spread's 12.5. Don't mess around.
No, don't mess around. This is a team that you don't want to give them hope at halftime. You don't want to give them hope halfway through the second half to where, hey, all we're trying to do is stick around close enough. Maybe we can make a run. Maybe we can hit a shot at the buzzer. No, take care of business and put them where they're supposed to be. It's out of the tournament.
Yeah, and if Howard can scare you, St. Louis can beat you.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, they won their first their game against Georgia. They scored 102 points against an SEC school. And there was never a doubt in that game. They manhandled Georgia.
So they track all kinds of stats for college hoops. One that I've noticed that's come up is these 10-0 runs. They're called kill shots.
Yeah.
St. Louis is one of the most dangerous kill shot teams in college basketball. So Evan Mia does he's like a Ken Palm, one of these guys. He tracks this stuff, and St. Louis is absolutely a team that in a blink of an eye can flip a game.
Oh, sure. You run the floor like they do, and you jack up as many threes as they do, and you hit at a percentage that they do. Absolutely, that's a kill shot.
And the other thing I would say for Michigan, you got to be careful. Turnovers, your guard play is certainly more vulnerable without LJ Kaysen.
Yeah, and Mara is a really good passer, but there's some times where I'm like, you're just trying to force it.
And I think Michigan's biggest strength is their front court more than it is their back court. Their front court, so if they were to match up against a mid-major, you'd think they'd simply overpower them with size, but that's where our guy, Robbie Avila, becomes a very valuable chess piece in this game where you're playing up in a level of competition, but you've got someone who can pull bigs out of the paint, who can create those passing lanes, and then you can go back cuts to the basket and pull Michigan's bigs away from the rim. I'll be very interested to see, because they have a dangerous offense, how they try to go at Michigan's front court.
Yeah. You can't get beat by a guy that goes by Bert. Who beat you, Bert?
Shaquille Oatmeal.
Larry Nerd.
Larry Nerd's a good one. Milk Chamberlain. And they just keep coming in, these nicknames for this dude. How about Kevin McPhail? We got robbed. This guy was on our radar a year ago at Indiana State.
Right.
But they missed the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And now he transferred to St. Louis, and here he is in the round of 32, chance to go to the Sweet 16, got to play Michigan. Mm-hmm. For the Spartans, I don't feel like we've really previewed the Louisville thing. Did you watch a good chunk of Louisville, South Florida? Because I bet that game. I was watching a lot of it.
I watched a little bit of it.
So South Florida couldn't buy a bucket.
Right.
They were 4 of 29 from 3. I mean, if they were 6 of 29 from 3, they win the game.
Right.
And Louisville had a ton of turnovers. Missing free throws, turning the ball over. They're without one of their 2 best guards.
Yeah.
Like, this is a good spot for Michigan State.
Oh, sure. I mean, it gets a lot harder after this. But
you know how I feel about their
Louisville
region.
is a very, very inconsistent team.
Yeah.
On the flip side, though, if they can not to turn the ball over as much, it goes to Michigan State's defense, which they're going to force some turnovers. But if they can play consistent defense, not turn the ball over, if they get hot, it's what concerns you about them. But I don't think Spartan fans should really be that concerned.
We got Doug and Gator standing by. Twin Peaks, another day of hoops. Boys, what's up?
Well, getting ready to do it all over again as March Madness continues here at Twin Peaks. And doors will open soon, and people can start claiming their spots for what is going to be another exciting day.
What was the atmosphere yesterday when Ohio State was struggling?
There was one Buckeye fan here, and he was frustrated.
One in every bunch.
And I was, what the weird thing is? I was rooting for Ohio State. I want the Big Ten to have a outstanding March. I don't want them to have too much success, but I was rooting for them in that game. And I got cornered by a Michigan fan who said it was unacceptable.
Oh, I understand that.
So there you go.
I'm disappointed.
Yeah, but well, whatever. To each their own.
Don't care.
Yeah, the fact of the matter is there was some excitement as those games were coming down to the wire, all the early games. And it's so much fun to be in an atmosphere like this during March Madness.
But, John, I was really impressed with your your faith in Mike Valenti to get it done.
Oh, I didn't care if he got it
saving
done.
his son.
Hey, I really don't care. I just want to shoot him into space.
Wow.
We were given the choice, and I figured, hey, well, who better?
Yeah, I think we all agreed with that question. The answer would be Greg.
Greg,
Yeah.
smartest guy.
100%. It's Greg.
It might be the smartest guy in Southeast Michigan. Let's call it what it is.
Very much could be. Hey,
Do you guys have any interest in seeing that movie, by the way?
I actually do. I like sci-fi movies, and I've seen the previews for this one, and I like Ryan Gosling a lot. He brings humor to it. And
You guys talk to him
I think
every
it
week
could
in
be
the
good.
season.
Yeah, I mean,
This is true.
Yeah.
Well, it's a combination of Ryan Gosling and Michael Cera. So, yeah, the actor.
Yes.
okay.
Sorry, did that fall on deaf ears?
Yeah,
No, I know who Michael Cera is.
Hello?
I don't.
No, I don't either.
Well, yeah, you know who
yeah.
you're
The
hosting.
guy from Superbad.
You know, movies.
Luke-
Oh, is that who it is?
Yeah, lead
Oh,
character
okay.
from Superbad and
Gotcha.
Ryan Gosling.
That helps.
That's what Jared Goff looks like.
Yep.
So, what are you guys going to talk about today?
Obviously, Michigan and Michigan State, all the happenings of yesterday. Were you ever in this position a team found themselves in? Got some Red Wings. Got to get into the Red Wings. Wow, what a win. So, all that coming up.
Yeah, I'll tell you, being there last night, that crowd was. I don't know what a playoff atmosphere is going to be like at LCA, but that's got to be pretty close.
Yep. And let me tell you that I could really feel it. I know, John, you said you couldn't. I could through the TV. That it was intense.
It was vibe.
Yep.
Carson
It was.
Anderson,
Yes.
97.1.
WGRY in Grayling is a division of Blarney Stone Broadcasting with 97.1 Detroit Sports Radio Network, 101.1 WGRY, powered by Gardner White Furniture in Gaylord. Same owners, same location, all new attitude.
Good morning, Northern Michigan, and welcome to Friday Face-Off here on Up North Sports Radio, 101.1 WGRY, brought to us by TVCAirport.com. Jerry Coyne, Rich Calkins in studio. Rich, the madness has begun.
It has. Let the games begin, and they started a full bolt yesterday. And, of course, upsets already like we always see every single year. North Carolina, a true blue blood, goes down in the first round back-to-back years. Wisconsin with an incredible loss as well. And
Yeah, I
man,
had them winning a couple of games.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact.
I did too, because I thought always, I'm thinking, how tough they always played Michigan, both times this year. And I thought, wow, that's a team that you can kind of get behind. Well, not for very long, you couldn't.
No, they they gave up a 12-point lead, and High Point made a great defensive play at the end of the game, blocked a shot of Blackman, the
Yes.
Brother Rice kid who ripped the crap out of Michigan when Michigan lost for the first time.
That kid that made that layup at the end there, that was his first 2-point field goal the entire season. That's crazy.
That's insane. I mean, literally.
He's made like almost 73s on the season, but his first 2-point field goal.
I mean, to not to belabor the absolute and obvious, but 3-point shooting has completely changed the game of basketball.
Yeah.
Completely changed it.
Look how Howard was able that first half hang in with Michigan.
God, what did they make 7 threes in a row?
I mean, it's just.
I mean, they were unconscious.
Yes.
I wasn't worried, but you're like, if they continue to shoot the ball like this, Michigan's going to have to work their asses off to win this game.
Exactly. Yeah.
And St. Louis is going to provide the exact same problem, only more so, to this Michigan team.
Right. No, it's true. That 3-point shooting has revolutionized the game of basketball.
Robbie Avila, the star of this, do you know this kid?
Robbie Avila.
He's the guy. He played at Indiana State for a couple years. He's kind of chunky.
Okay.
He's 6'10", I think. He wears glasses.
Oh, yes.
He's not the most handsome or
those
athletic
glasses stand out. They're very interesting.
He transferred from Indiana State to St. Louis. Obviously got some NIL money because he got, was it 2 years ago, he was averaging like 27 points a game. Indiana State got into the tournament. He had a pretty decent game, although they lost their first game. But St. Louis shoots the 3 ball.
Yeah.
They move it around pretty well. And Michigan's going to have to be on their toes.
They are, absolutely. Yeah, you don't want a repeat performance of that first half of what took place again against Howard, because the longer you let a team hang around.
No.
Offensively, they played really well.
And I don't think they played horribly defensively. They just shot the lights out. Sometimes the ball goes in. It's just as simple. I mean, we've been talking about this for years.
We have.
It started a couple years ago when Keith gave me crap about some team, and I go, well, you know what? When you shoot 30% and they shoot 70%, you're going to lose the basketball game.
You are.
Sometimes it's from defensive lapses, but I mean, Howard just threw it up and it went in.
Yeah. If they're making contested shots, what more can you do about it?
That's as a defensive specialist, which was what I was in high school and college. Sometimes you shut people down. Sometimes you play great defense and the ball still goes in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you get them down in the shot clock to like 1 second, 2 seconds. You've worked your butt off to be in front of them and be physical with them, and they put up this miracle shot and it goes in. You're like, there's nothing more I could do.
No. So and that is the beauty of this tournament in a nutshell. It happened in North Carolina. I mean, they were kind of banged up. There's a couple teams in this tournament, unfortunately, that are banged up.
But at one point they were up by 19, and you don't expect a North Carolina team to give up a 19-point lead.
Exactly, 100% for sure.
I mean, it just is. I mean, just think, crazy things happen in this tournament, and it's just always good to know, with having the scores up on your TV set there and what games are close. If the game you're watching isn't close, you could go over to another channel and check out that game. And just, they do it and they do it right. It's just so entertaining.
Yeah. So we get day 2 of it today, and there's something wild about just being able to sit down and watch game after game after game, games going on at the same time. God bless CBS for putting it on different platforms.
Yes,
because when Rich and I grew up watching this tournament, it was, you got one game.
You did,
and
you were thankful for that.
And you'd have the scores of the other games, and you've got your bracket out and everything else, and you're like, holy, oh my God! Illinois is going to go down. You can't even watch the game. And then when technology got a little better, they would flip you to the other game.
Right.
If your game was a blowout or whatever.
Yep.
And then you got some great sports bars that would have satellites.
Yeah.
So you would you could go and see some of these games being played,
right?
Buffalo Wild Wings or whatever, before cable and everything else. So you'd get get more games on.
If you were in a different city at that point of the tournament, you always look for the bar with the big satellite on its roof. You're like, that's the place we need to go to.
Yeah, I remember, when I lived in San Francisco, there was a great sports bar that I essentially lived in called Pat O'Shea's Mad Hatter. And they had 5 different dishes, and and this was in the early '80s.
Right.
So it was a place. And San Francisco was such a transient town.
Yes.
So in one corner, the Lions game would be on, in another corner, the Cowboys would be on, and everyththing else.
Right. Yeah. So you could still follow your favorite teams and kind of keep in touch. Yes.
Jot down notes there, folks, because that's the way it was. Now it's all there. You've got your remote in hand, so you can flip over to whatever game is on.
Exactly.
Yeah, which essentially what I did starting.
What do you think, like that Kentucky-Santa Clara game to start off there today? Kentucky, I mean, they spent a lot of money this year.
$22 million they've got on the floor there. That's more than Michigan spent on their team.
Yes. And if they go out to Santa Clara, there's going to be a lot of Kentucky. They're very subdued and they're very logical about their fandom.
Sure.
And,
Mark Pope, the coach of Kentucky, they've been talking about having his job this year a lot.
Yes.
Because, how many losses? They got 7 or 8 losses. I mean, the SEC is a tough league. There's no doubt about it.
Right.
But they do have one of their best players has been out for half the season. And there's a couple of teams that lost yesterday because they have some injuries, and there's a couple more on the docket today.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
I've got a big upset. I've got Hofstra beating Alabama today.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Wow. Oh,
So-
that would be a good one there for sure. Yeah. How about the Akron Zips and Texas Tech? That
Tech's missing J.T. Toppin, who was a first-team All-American
American, yeah,
candidate.
Player of the Year candidate,
Yeah,
all of it,
He's
yeah.
had a great season going on. They've managed to win a number of basketball games without him, so good for them. But yeah, I mean, there's going to be upsets.
Yes.
I mean, the beauty of winning a bracket challenge, not this one. There's only 26 million brackets were submitted into ESPN. They're down to 10,000 perfect brackets.
I saw that. That what a
One day.
One day. I mean, not even the full first round. One day. One half of the
There
first
wouldn't
round.
be any left if Duke had ended up losing to Siena.
Oh.
They were down by 11 at halftime.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that was certainly watched that closely because again, Siena High, they led that for a long time until just toward the bitter end there, and Duke was able to pull it off. They're the overall number 1 seed. So that certainly made things interesting throughout the day yesterday for sure.
So who's your Final Four?
My Final Four is, let me pull it up. I took a picture of it on my phone. Here, almost chalk, UConn, Florida, Gonzaga, Michigan.
Oh, you got Gonzaga in there.
I do, yes, I
They
did.
They won yesterday.
They didn't look all that great,
Yeah,
but instead of Arizona, yes, I got Gonzaga.
Yeah,
there.
so I've got Michigan, St. John's,
Okay,
Florida, and Arizona.
okay, very good, very good.
Right.
Yeah, I've got St. John's Cup, Elite 8 there, but I have UConn beating St. John's in that East.
No way.
Yep. I know. Well, yeah, St. John's played they blew out UConn in the Big East final.
The talk before the tournament is how badly they got screwed, and they did. What the heck? They won their regular season and tournament in the Big East, beating Connecticut twice in the process. And the second one was a total beatdown. They beat them by 26 points.
Yeah.
And Connecticut ended up on the 2 line, and St. John's ended up on the 5 line. Explain that to me.
So there is no explanation.
There is no explanation, and Patino is going to use
yeah.
and this is a very physical St. John's team. So they're either going to see Connecticut or Michigan State, and either one of those teams better be ready for it.
You bet. Yeah, that for sure.
Yeah, that whole East.
That's man. Look at how many championships historically.
You've got 5 Hall of Fame coaches in that bracket.
I mean,
Hurley and Izzo and Rick Pitino. It's crazy. And UCLA's in there.
UCLA is there, yes.
Yeah. I would watch
Yes.
that. I also have a Cal Baptist beating Kansas today.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause Peterson may not play. No, I don't know.
Whether
I'm
he
just
does, I
saying.
mean, DeBanza went out. I liked BYU. He had an outstanding game, but they still came up short. I mean, that guy's going to be a fantastic professional basketball player.
He's so good. He's so athletic,
Yeah.
and he shoots the ball well. He handles the ball well.
That's the other Hall of Fame coach. Bill Self is in that
right.
Eastern bracket.
Yes.
But I just, the Cal Baptist can play. This is they've only been in Division I for 4 years. And so, I've got some wild.
That would be a good one. That would be a good one.
You got to pick some crazy upsets.
Yes.
The problem when you do that, Rich, is when that doesn't come through. The team, like Kansas, go ahead and win 3 games and wipes out your whole bracket.
Whole bracket. Yes, that's the scary part of that for sure. Yes.
But UCLA's got a tough go. I mean, UCF can play. So
Yeah.
There's a lot of good basketball coming up today, and then, like we said, Michigan is going to play St. Louis. That's the first game out of the blocks.
It is, yeah. Just at 10 minutes after 12 here Eastern time.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that we're going to be we have that game on the radio. I don't think the Pistons I don't think the Red Wings have an early game on Saturday. No, they don't. I know they don't.
Okay.
They're playing Boston on national TV.
Oh, yeah.
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 So,
So-
I think that's like a 5 o'clock skate, which is going to be a huge hockey game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we will talk about that in a couple of minutes. The Wings got a massive win yesterday.
They did.
Yeah, a regular, not overtime win
Yes.
against the Canadiens.
Yes.
But so we'll talk about that in the next segment. But what any other observations from the tourney?
No, just, it never fails to entertain.
Nope.
It's
They
just
can't screw it up.
No, I mean, it's just let the games be played, and the games just sell themselves because, again, it's just always so exciting. And we talk about it every year. There's more and more depth on these teams. There's more and more good basketball players, and even the little guy, even in this world of NIL right now, where, again, you're going to see the big guys do well, of course, but every once in a while, Cinderella is going to come out and get a win here or there, and
Yeah,
it just makes it worth it.
I think the NIL has actually been good for college basketball. You got kids. The one thing I would really like to see put some kind of brakes on the nonstop transferring.
Yes.
The great thing about college basketball 10 years ago is that you had kids stay in. You got to know them in college. Duke would,
Develop
you saw
real
Leitner's a
rivalries
freshman and a
and-
sophomore. Like, oh, this team's going to be good. Who do they recruit and everything else? You got kids sticking around, but the problem is that they're hired guns.
Yes, they
Yeah.
are. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but the kind of lose some of that luster of
Yep.
the true rivalry, where you've seen a player play, a Michigan State in 3 years. They've played together and they've all, they really dislike each
Yeah.
other, and it just, you lose a lot of that.
You lose a lot of that, but we are seeing a lot more quality basketball. The other thing that it kind of cuts out is the fact that you're never going to see. I don't think you're ever going to see a Butler again.
That's too bad. Kind
Yeah.
of come out of nowhere.
Well, yeah,
And-
because it takes a couple years for those team develops, and
Yeah.
and then when they're all seniors, a team like Butler that came like by a half an inch to beating Duke in the national finals. What was that, 7 or 8 years ago? I think it's longer than that now, but the mid majors that just get rated.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We saw it at Oakland University just a couple years ago when their best player was, an undersized post guy. Arizona liked him, though. They swooped him up and
Yep.
gave him some money. And
No,
you
we
know,
never heard from him again.
yet to be heard from again.
Yeah, I don't think he's even in school. If he is, fine. He could be, but he's not. If
He might
he's-
be over in Europe at this point because I think he was a senior when he transferred.
Yeah, but you can
what
stay.
kind of senior?
Yeah, 6-year senior.
Super red shirt. I still got a COVID year. I got I got 6 years of senior play.
Yeah. Did you watch the Arkansas game at all?
Yeah, to watch Acuff a little bit. Yeah, he's the real deal, man. And the group I was with, I let them know that he was an example of a kid that came up to the Northern Michigan showcase that Sean Finnegan puts on every year at
Yep.
Traverse City St. Francis, and really sold that big time. Said a couple years ago you could have been there watching him play.
Yeah, they were talking about him briefly on 97 Won the Ticket, and I think he's only like, I hate to say this, but he's only making like $1.2 million,
Right.
as opposed to like Luxembourg is getting
Hey,
7.
He's got a better agent.
Yeah. Well, he had a better resume. You're like, well, how much money can you pay a freshman before you see him play in
Right.
college? Darius Acuff Jr. is underpaid.
He's underpaid right now, no question.
We'll see if he can carry this Arkansas team into a deep tournament run. I tend not to think so, but who's the coach? for Arkansas.
Yeah.
Calipari.
Calipari, yeah.
He knows how to coach.
He does.
And
yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Yep.
For sure.
So, tournament fever has hit. Rich and I are suffering greatly from it. So we're going to go and cool down our pipes here for a minute. When we return, we'll get some Red Wings talk in there. Of course, what's happened to Cade Cunningham, Detroit Tigers, free agency. We signed 5 more guys I never heard of before in my entire life.
Larry Moe and Curly.
I thought it was Manny Moe and Jack. Back after these on Up North Sports Radio's Friday Face-Off, brought to us by TVCAirport.com.
TVC's travel tip of the day. Ready for a change of scenery? Now's the perfect time to book your ticket to the sun. Seats are filling fast, so don't wait. Book your winter and spring getaway today. Explore all your flight options at TVCAirport.com.
Start your engines and blaze your way to Bay Mills Resort and Casino. With fresh snow, groomed trails, and amazing views, Bay Mills is Michigan's premier destination for snowmobiling all winter long. Once you let the engine cool down, come warm up with a hot meal at the Back Bay Grill and Games, or test your luck on the casino floor where it gets even hotter. Follow us on Facebook or visit BayMillsCasinos.com for more information. Bay Mills Resort and Casino. Your vacation starts here.
Nominations for the Traverse City Record Eagles Simply the Best 2026 Reader's Choice Contest are open. Nominate your favorite businesses, organizations, and professionals in Northern Michigan for well-deserved recognition. Nominate once daily in each category through Friday, May 8th. Simply the Best in 2025 broke records, more than 29,000 nominations and more than 39,000 votes. It's more important than ever to support your favorites and help them stand out above the rest. Simply the Best voting begins May 11th, so nominate now at record-eagle.com/simplythebest.
Hi, this is Don Keller, Executive Vice President and National Sales Director at Blue & Associates. We are one of the nation's premier providers of environmental, engineering, energy, and survey assessments, located across all 50 states and even a local office right here in Northern Michigan. I have been providing environmental services for over 25 years, and I've succeeded in cleaning up contaminated sites of all kinds. Blue & Associates, cleaning up Michigan and America one site at a time. Visit us at blueinc.com, spelled BLEWINC.com.
Brr, it's downright frigid out there.
No kidding. But I've got just the thing to warm you up. Shanty Creek is serving up something hot.
Really? Like what?
This winter at Shanty Creek Resort, book a minimum 2-night stay at the Lakeview Hotel and receive half-off lift tickets. No blackout dates, and the hotel has stunning views of Northern Michigan's winter wonderland. This stay and ski package is perfect for any winter getaway.
Half off ski and amazing winter views? I'm sold.
The perfect ski hamlet for the whole family. Get cozy at Shanty Creek Resort, shantycreek.com.
Get fired up with Detroit Pistons basketball.
Our broadcasts are brought to you in part by Sarah Ford of Kalkaska. SarahFordKalkaska.com.
Detroit Pistons basketball right here on 101.1 WGRY, Up North Sports Radio.
Welcome back to Friday Face-Off here. It's time for Destination NHL with Kevin Klein, the director at TVC Airport. And Kev, huge win by the Wings last night.
Awesome. Well, and it gets me excited for some of this end-of-season travel, especially because we had all this crazy snow, and the end of season, is in Florida.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
So it really gets me excited to see that, gets our hopes for that season to extend beyond the regular season.
Sure,
but,
yeah.
But we're not going to talk about that because I don't want to throw any jinxes out there. But
no. But if people had listened to your advice and jumped on that flight on Friday, they would have avoided all the crap that we went through Sunday, Monday.
Yes, they would have. Yes, they would have. That was just what an amazing storm it was.
Yeah.
Thank you to all the members of the community that actually came out to the airport and helped us shovel snow, clean out parking lots, do all this great stuff. So we thank our flyers for being patient with us and traveling. But, hey, as we rebound, we can look at that wing schedule. They're away against the Sabres on the 27th. That's 5:49. At the Rangers, that's getting a little steep because, again, that's part of our spring break period. That's around 7:50.
Wow.
But when you get to the end of the season after that homestand, Tampa Bay, 228, and then Fort Lauderdale, you're flying in as they play the Panthers at 110.
Yeah, I can't believe that flight is still that cheap down to Fort Lauderdale Airport, which is a dream compared to flying into Miami.
And and I can also say this. We've heard all about all the TSA issues and everything else. One, Traverse City's doing awesome. But two, the other day I checked into Fort Lauderdale to see, because I heard all these crazy rumors, and their pre-check lines were running less than 10 minutes. So, they're doing great down there at Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, there's a lot of great things to love about, regional airports like TVC Airport, like Fort Lauderdale. It's just there's so much advantages compared to saying, flying out of O'Hare or Metro.
Absolutely. And so, real quick, Tiger spring training, jump on today, 7:03 p.m., 2:25 down to Orlando Sanford to go over and watch them play the Yankees this weekend.
Okay.
And so that's a great price. Also, though, we have our nonstop to Phoenix Mesa that started up here last week. So if you want to catch a game out in like the Colorado Rockies out in Scottsdale, 2:38. So if you want to jump on a flight to go do that. And then we're starting to look at that Tigers opening season, going out to start out against San Diego. So it's a high number again. That's that West Coast stuff gets expensive, $896. But as we roll away and get into more of late April, you're starting to see $512 to Boston, $379 to Cincinnati. And so some good fares if you start that advanced planning that we always talk about.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Tigers play the Red Sox before your nonstop action happens to Boston. So that's why that fare is so high.
Yeah, just a little early. But when you talk about those Boston trips, those fares, are. Well, I've seen them as low as $120 round trip. So you got to start shopping those, especially for all this summer, heading out to Boston. A lot of activity that's going to happen. And, hey, if you love baseball, I'd still go see the Sox.
I'd go see the Red Sox play anybody in Fenway. It's it's on my bucket list. We screwed up by not by not circumventing the rules of our contest from last year, Kevin.
We'll figure it out one of these days.
We'll figure out one of these days. All right, there he is, Kevin Klein. Kev, where do people go to find out all the great destinations and fares from Traverse City Airport?
TVCairport.com.
There you go. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. We won't talk about how great Kevin is.
But always good to talk
always
to
good
him.
to talk to him. Yeah.
Nonetheless.
It's always entertaining. We'll put it that way.
For sure.
We started out that conversation. So the Red Wings are essentially in the playoffs now, Rich.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
they were 1 point behind Montreal. They got a much-needed regular non-overtime win, so they get
back-to-back regulation wins. There,
that's 2 points, and they don't get the Canadiens 1. The Blue Jackets keep winning. They're in. Now the Islanders are 1 out. It's going to be a mess.
Exactly. Not only, watching the teams ahead of Detroit, but a couple of teams then right behind as well. It is just absolutely, right now, both Boston and Detroit, and you talked about it is a late 8 o'clock game.
Yeah, it's an 8 o'clock game.
Yeah, so
84
points tied at Boston and Detroit. How much better, both battling for playoff spots.
And that game is available right here on Up North Sports Radio at 8 o'clock. So we'll have the Michigan game, I think it's 12:10.
Yes.
Pre-game is at 11:30 if you want to hear some of their analysis. And then that game will be on the radio. And then the Red Wings taking on the Bruins.
Yeah, you got to watch. The Islanders are 1 point behind both Boston and Detroit for that wild
card. They were ahead of them.
Yeah.
But they've lost 2 of their last 3 games. Like I said, the Blue Jackets are in there.
Ottawa's right there.
Yeah, it's nuts.
It is.
We play most of these teams at the end of the right now.
Yeah.
There is 11 or 12 games left, by my calculations, and here we go. So they got the Bruins tonight. Then they got the Ottawa.
Yep.
On Tuesday, they got Buffalo, who's in there. The Flyers have been playing a lot of really good hockey. Penguins were in the mix. They've lost a couple of games, dropped down a couple of points.
They have.
But that doesn't mean those are layup games at all.
Not at all.
The Minnesota Wild come into town on April 5th. They're in the playoff hunt on the other side. Then they play Columbus. And the Lightning and the Panthers, it's crazy.
It is. No, it's just a lot of really good, entertaining hockey still left, closing out this regular season.
13 games left.
And we're really hoping, obviously, that they are able to overcome the loss of Dylan Larkin. Looks like they're figuring some things out.
Well, Kopp came back.
And
he scored the empty net goal.
The Cat played well.
Yep. But Rasmussen is out as well.
Yes. Undisclosed is what it says. I don't know what it was.
I don't know how they're very mysterious with the hockey injuries. They said Kopp would be gone for 2 weeks. He wasn't. So that's a big help.
Right.
Larkin, they're pretty much sticking to that. So he's going to miss at least 3 more games. Right. So, hopefully they can hold on. Beating the Bruins tomorrow would be huge.
It would be. Like you said, that nationally televised game, it would be really good for their confidence going in. Again,
it is in Hockey Town.
It is. It's kind of in the middle of that 4-game homestand here, which started with Calgary, of course, with that 5-2 win.
Well, they've won
Monday.
both of those games. Let's see a sweep, and then they play the Senators, who are right in this mix.
Yes.
Sweeping the next 2 games would be massive.
Yes. Hockey Town would be alive.
Yeah.
And well.
Not to put the cart before the horse, but if you want, especially if you're a basketball junkie, you can keep watching your basketball games and put the Bruins on the radio right here on 101.1 WGRY. When we return, we'll talk about the Pistons and their injury travails and what to look forward with that. All that and more here on Up North Sports Radio's Friday Face-Off, brought to us by TVCAirport.com.
It's time for the Up North Sports Radio Northern Michigan Trail Report, brought to you by your Michigan Toro authorized dealer, Outdoor Equipment Co. in Houghton Lake, Lansing, and Detroit. OutdoorEquipCo.com. Toro, count on it.
I'm Melissa Sullivan, outdoor enthusiast and your host. And we've hit that time of year where weather can't decide if it wants to be winter and spring. We're currently in the middle of a major warm-up. We're talking highs in the 40s and 50s across northern lower, and it's taken a serious toll on that snow base. If you're planning on squeezing in one last ride, here's the SNERT report for some of the most popular hubs. Houghton Lake and St. Helen, well, it's getting ugly out there, folks. Expect poor to marginal conditions for sleds, but get your ORV out and have a great time. The Grayling and Kalkaska trails are holding on by a thread. The woods are still covered, but it's becoming icy and sloppy. Grooming has been suspended in most spots because the ground is just too soft. The Alpine Village would be your best bet, but even there, conditions are getting slushy. High traffic areas like 7 Corridor are starting to show that wear.
Remember to ride smart, ride right, and don't leave your trash. Leave a good impression. Visit us on upnorthsportsradio.com for more information on how to ride safe.
This has been your Up North Sports Radio Northern Michigan Trail Report, brought to you by your Michigan Toro authorized dealer, Outdoor Equipment Co. in Houghton Lake, Lansing, and Detroit. OutdoorEquipCo.com. Toro, count on it. Mowing the yard will no longer be a chore with a Toro Time Cutter, built to tackle big jobs while fitting in small spaces with zero-turn maneuverability. Getting on and off the mower is a breeze with a step-through front end. Comfort comes standard with a seat that provides the ultimate in padding and back support. The Toro Time Cutter is available in a variety of deck sizes and special features. Head to your local Toro authorized dealer, Outdoor Equipment Co. in Houghton Lake, Lansing, and Detroit, or visit OutdoorEquipmentCo.com. Toro, count on it.
Hi folks, Jim Jeffries for Michigan Trailers in Traverse City, Northern Michigan's value leader in utility trailer sales. It's never too early to gear up for spring, and it's not too late to get some funds off the books before tax season. With over 300 utility trailers available from America's top manufacturers, we can help you tackle either task with a great selection and incredible values in stock to solve all your hauling needs. See us today on US 31 South across from Menards, Traverse City, or visit us online at MichiganTrailers.com.
Your local Gaylord Gardner White Furniture Store is celebrating their Detroit roots with a spectacular 313 sale. Get 31.3% off the greatest brands like Flex Steel, Cindy Crawford Home, Daniels Amish, and Drew and Jonathan Home. Gardner White is Michigan's #1 mattress store with Tempur-Pedic, Beauty Rest Black, Serta Sealy, and every other big mattress brand. Sleep better, live better. Visit your friendly Gaylord Gardner White across from Meyer. Same owners, same place. All new attitude.
Get into the spring swing at St. Ambrose Cellars in Beulah. St. Ambrose weekly specials give you a great reason to visit any day of the week. Monday, get a burger and a brew for just $10. Pizza Party Tuesday means every delicious and unique pie is only $14. Everyone loves Wings Wednesday, and open mic night every Thursday has become legendary. Plus, there's live music every Friday and Saturday. And if you haven't tried the Sunday Cajun Brunch, do it now. The vibe is always flowing. Check out all their events and specials at stambrose-mead-wine.com.
There's only one way to rock. Sammy Hagar in the Best of All Worlds Band, live June 17th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort with special guest Rick Springfield. Tickets start at $61 and on sale now at the box office or online at etix.com. Sammy Hagar and Rick Springfield bring the party to Soaring Eagle June 17th. Showtime 7 p.m. SoaringEagleCasino.com.
Welcome back to Friday Face-Off here on Up North Sports Radio, 101.1 WGRY. Jerry Coyne, Rich Calkins. Rich, the ski season coming to a close this weekend at Shanty Creek and Shush Mountain. This Saturday is Denim Day.
Denim Day?
Yeah, if you wear your jeans out to the mountain, lift tickets are just $10. That's right. Dust off the denim jacket, the overalls, whatever you got, and get out there on the mountain for a sawbuck. I haven't seen that word in a long time. Today, Saturday, and Sunday, last skiing of Shanty Creek. And, of course, you know they got a lot of snow in the past earlier in the season. So you've got perfect conditions.
You do. Spring skiing's the best. The sun is shining.
Temperatures coming up to the 40s. So, opened from 9 to 4:30 today, Saturday, and Sunday. And you ready to trade in your ski boots for golf shoes? We're now booking tee times. All the golf in May is going to be $35 on any one of the golf courses. It's a fantastic deal. 18 holes plus cart, valid from March 24th to May 12th. Now, I don't know how much golf we're playing. That means you can book it between now and then up through May 12th. So go to shantycreek.com for ski and golf. We're looking forward to a beautiful end of the ski season and the start of the golf season.
Speaking of golf, real quick, when does Finding Fairways start up?
Not next weekend, but the weekend after that.
All right.
The first week in April. So
Very good.
Thank you for reminding me. Damn,
it's right around the corner, baby.
Well, the Players Championship was on this past weekend.
Yes.
I love that golf course.
Oh, I know. I mean, when they first showed that island green, that was but then the whole thing is just that sawgrass there.
It's a very
incredible.
challenging golf course. I'm in this golf betting league with 4 other guys, and I had Lucas Aberg, who was winning the on Friday and Saturday, and going into Sunday. And he he did not perform well, and I lost the.
Like, I was watching part of it, saw he was still in the lead, come back to it an hour later, and he was like 3 strokes back. I'm like, what the heck
he
happened?
hit it in the water 2 holes in a row.
There you go.
What is it? 14 of the 18 holes at TVC Sawgrass have water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played there. It is, it's a lot of fun. I would hate to play it for a lot of money.
Right.
And those guys were playing for a lot of money.
They sure were.
I mean, he probably still won, $300,000-400,000 bucks. But,
Right. Yeah, he didn't do too shabby for sure.
Shocking news, very disconcerting news that came out yesterday that Cade Cunningham had a partially collapsed lung. I saw that play.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought that was a dirty play. I think that guy went out of his way to knee him on the back.
Do you think so?
Cunningham was already on the floor getting the ball.
Was exposed.
And that guy just he had no. He hit him in the back. The ball's
Right.
way over here.
Right.
He knees Cunningham in the back as he's falling to the ground. I guess I'd have to watch it a few more times. I don't believe he was tripped. It just looked like a kind of a dirty play. So regardless of that, he's going to be out for at least 5 games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Between now and then, hopefully he gets back with a couple of games left to go in the regular season so he can get in shape to play for the playoffs.
And that was when I first saw the news come across the Scrolly line, or they broke in to get up yesterday morning, and I just we just can't have nice things for the Pistons. We just can't. But then as the day went on and thought about it, and the more news came out that it was partially collapsed and all of that, I'm really hoping he can be back, like you said, the last 10 days or so of the season, so that he can get back into game shape a little bit.
Yeah, if he gets 3 games in before the playoffs, I think that'll be fine. If that's the case, this may be a good thing for the Pistons. Herter played last night. He had 14 points. So did Karis LeVert.
Yes.
So, it might give all these guys an opportunity to fit into the roster construction a little better.
And they all played. They all had 3 or 4 assists. You know what I mean? It wasn't like one person trying to take over the role of Cade Cunningham, because they're not going to be able to do that.
No.
What he does. But the team shared the ball really well. Sir Thompson had 3 or 4 assists. LeVert had 3 or 4 assists. Just a lot of people had, 3 to 5 assists in the game last night. And so that's how they're going to have to play without him.
Well, that's 100% true. I mean, it was the Wizards.
Right, exactly.
But they have a relative, unlike the Red Wings, they have a much easier schedule for the rest of the way out. Now, they play the Warriors tonight at 7:30 here on Up North Sports Radio. The Warriors are coming into town. Warriors are pretty banged up. Steph Curry hasn't played in a while. They're pretty much out of the playoffs, so God knows what they'll get.
But then the red-hot Lakers.
The Lakers are playing some seriously good basketball.
They are.
So are the Hawks. The Hawks have won 13 in a row. The Pelicans, Timberwolves, that's going to be a nationally televised game next Saturday. And then they play the Thunder, who's the best team in the league, and I don't believe Cade will be back by that time. I think you're looking at an ideal situation would be like him coming back April 6th versus Orlando. Then they play the Bucks, then the Hornets, and the Pacers. Those are the last 4 games. That's April 6th through the 12th.
Yeah, a little tough stretch there, but then reasonable to close out the season.
I do play a doctor on the radio, and
I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
I forgot about that ad campaign. So Duran's playing great basketball.
He's a beast. He is just.
He's really learned how to use his body, and his footwork is getting way better in the posts. He's playing with a lot of confidence, which is the best tonic in the world
for sure
for a professional athlete. The more success you have, the more success it seems to generate around you.
And like you had mentioned it, JC, Herder has been getting more playing time throughout. And then now with Kate out for a little bit, that he's even going to get more time. So, again, what do pure shooters do? If they're in a slump, they need to shoot their way out of it. And he's been working really hard in practice, and let's get him rolling here just in time for the playoffs.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I don't see it didn't look like Chaz Lanier. Did he play last night?
I did not.
I didn't see the box score.
Yeah.
I know he played a couple nights ago and had 8 points.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a guy that you brought up here. I had forgotten when we had drafted him as, wasn't he SEC Player of the Year?
He may have been.
And known as a pure shooter when we drafted him. And so, I'm pulling up some of the box.
Yeah, Chaz Lanier has he played 2 minutes last night without a bucket. He missed the only shot he took.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 minutes isn't a whole lot of time to get into a rhythm.
Sasser played 14 minutes, was 1 of 5 from the floor. That's not going to help his cause at all. But like I said, Herder played 23 minutes. It was 6 of 10 shooting. He missed both threes that he took, though, or both twos that he took. Reed back into rotation had 17 points.
I tell you what, Paul Reed, you put him in there, he does a quality job every time you see him. He's really what you call a true professional, because he'll go for a long stretch and never see the light of day.
Yeah.
And then you put him in there and he scores 17 points for you. You're like, what more can you ask for?
I don't want to. So they play, like I said, the Wizards are in full tank mode. They traded for Trae Young, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and he sat out for like a month after the trade.
Right.
Came back and played 3 games. Didn't play last night. Quad. Day to day. Quad.
Traded away from Atlanta, and look what Atlanta's doing now.
Well, they also traded for Anthony Davis. He hasn't played with a broken finger since the trade. So this draft has got some franchise type players coming into it.
What a draft!
We mentioned DeBonsa from BYU and Acuff, Boozer, Peterson, and there's another. I mean, those guys are the top echelon. But most experts think that there's up to 20 players in this draft that will can come in and start on most NBA teams, and this is why there's so many people tanking,
right? And
got the NBA so concerned.
Oh yeah,
it's one thing to see a couple of teams, the 76ers process, but
that was a long process.
You've got like 10 teams that are just peeing away games.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why you Adam Silver is, trying to do the hard line thing and come up with rules and ways to stop it from happening. I don't know what they're going to come up with, but he talks about it a lot. We'll see what can be done. But getting back, this could be one of the all-time drafts. There is some talent.
There's no doubt about it. And I haven't even heard, and we're talking about all these kids are from, playing in college right now, which in the last few years, the head people in the drafts have been Euros.
And guys that we had
never even heard of.
Couldn't pronounce their names, none of that, But this year, we're seeing the kids play, and it's almost like old school, like it used to be. The top kids are coming from college, and so it's been a fun basketball year.
Luka went for 60 last night.
Yeah, he did.
He's coming to town.
He's coming.
I think there'll be a few people at LCA.
I think so.
On Monday night
for sure.
The Lakers are playing really good basketball right now. Unfortunately, we won't have Cade there, and so it's not the measuring stick game you'd like to have.
Right.
But there's the last point about the NBA. There's also talk that they want to add 2 more teams.
I see that. What, Seattle and Vegas? Is that
Seattle and Vegas?
Okay. Seattle. I always liked the Supersonics when they were there.
Yeah.
I've always thought that was a good basketball town.
Yeah.
But Vegas is getting everything. So I mean.
But the question has been kind of floating around. That people in the media want to talk about. Can the NBA absorb another 2 teams?
Exactly. Yeah, that's a lot of ex-players are talking about. No, you're going to be a watered-down product, going to be this, going to be that.
I mean, you look at it now, it looks like a watered-down product.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tough debate. A couple of guys are thinking, well, let's look at the teams that, does Memphis really need a team? Let's move Memphis to Vegas, and so
sure,
there's that conversation. I mean, the Oklahoma City Thunder were the Seattle Supersonics.
Yeah, exactly.
And the Memphis Grizzlies were the Vancouver Grizzlies.
Right.
So instead of
right, because there weren't a lot of Grizzlies in Memphis. Just to let you know. Vancouver definitely more so.
Yeah, well, that's for sure. And there is no Jazz in Salt Lake City.
Right.
We'll come after these messages from our fine partners here on Up North Sports Radio's Friday Face-Off. Rich and I will talk about Mo, Larry, and Curly.
Sounds.
The snow is flying and the chill is in the air. Find a new winter hobby that'll have you breathing in all that fresh air in Bel Air. Super Sundays at Shush Mountain are the day for slope junkies. Not only do you get a lift ticket and rental equipment, but you can also take advantage of a large group lesson with stations covering the core basics of skiing and snowboarding for just $60. It's the ultimate package. Come join in on all the fun on Shush Mountain at Shanty Creek Resort, shantycreek.com.
Hi, this is Perry Johnson, running for governor of Michigan. A businessman named Donald Trump got sick of politics and decided to run himself. I agree with him. My background is statistics, audits, perfection. I helped fix the automobile industry in Detroit, then my management techniques spread to 67 countries around the world. Day one, I'll audit every penny our state spends. That will lead to Doge-like savings and will eliminate the state income tax, putting almost $5,000 back into our average family's pocket every year. 4747. I'll support ICE and our law enforcement. Support President Trump and remove these ridiculous woke rules like boys in girls' bathrooms. I'm Perry Johnson. I'm going to shake up the system and send you the savings. I'm Perry Johnson, and I approve this message. Paid for by Perry Johnson for governor.
Nominations for the Traverse City Record Eagles Simply the Best 2026 Reader's Choice Contest are open. Nominate your favorite businesses, organizations, and professionals in Northern Michigan for well-deserved recognition. Nominate once daily in each category through Friday, May 8th. Simply the Best in 2025 broke records, more than 29,000 nominations and more than 39,000 votes. It's more important than ever to support your favorites and help them stand out above the rest. Simply the Best voting begins May 11th, so nominate now at record-eagle.com/simplythebest.
Spice up your March with the zesty Latin menu at Benetham's. The Aztec salad and tableside flaming Mexican queso cheese make for a thrilling beginning. Perhaps a toasted coconut margarita to kick it up a notch. The shrimp flautas and Acapulco chorizo chicken are certain to delight. And if you want the best taco ever, it's Benetham's beef tenderloin tacos. Take your taste buds and visit Benethams.com. Make your reservations today. Benetham's, for the true love of food. Olé!
TVC's travel tip of the day. Ready for a change of scenery? Now's the perfect time to book your ticket to the sun. Seats are filling fast, so don't wait. Book your winter and spring getaway today. Explore all your flight options at tvcairport.com.
Your local Gaylord Gardner White Furniture Store is celebrating their Detroit roots with a spectacular 313 sale. Get 31.3% off the greatest brands like Flex Steel, Cindy Crawford Home, Daniels Amish, and Drew and Jonathan Home. Gardner White is Michigan's #1 mattress store with Tempur-Pedic, Beauty Rest Black, Serta Sealy, and every other big mattress brand. Sleep better, live better. Visit your friendly Gaylord Gardner White across from Meyer. Same owners, same place. All new attitude.
Welcome back to Friday Face-Off here on Up North Sports Radio, brought to us by TVCAirport.com. Jerry Coyne, Rich Calkins. And Rich was just pointing out, who is it, Marvin Adams?
Miles Adams.
Miles Adams, defensive end signee for the Lions, so I don't think we'll...
obviously part of the Adams family.
There's, Cam Jordan's name been kicked around as a potential signee, that a name that we would know. Joey Bosa's name is linked to the Lions through some websites.
Right.
To me, I'd much rather have Cam Jordan than Joey Bosa.
I would too.
And then Kevin Zeitler's name came up as a potential return on some websites.
I had seen like a week or two ago that
He's
he was still out there, and
I didn't know, was he a free agent from the get-go, or did something happen? Because I don't remember ever seeing his name out there on the list of free agents.
Right, exactly, where they list the top 100 free agents.
Yeah, how would you not put him in there? He was a Pro Bowler for the Lions. Now, obviously, nobody made the Pro Bowl from the Titans last year.
That's for sure.
But, again, that begs the question, why wasn't he available in trade?
Right.
When the Lions were searching for linemen at the trade deadline for last year. So, Zeitler seems like a no-brainer depending on how much. I mean, who would you rather have, Zeitler or the return of Taylor Decker?
Oh, yeah, I would take, Zeitler at this point for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Decker, that one arm of his is like really, he's been a great Lion for a long time, but that one arm of his is almost like dead, so he can't use it effectively.
He had all those things to say about how bad his body was.
Yeah.
And God bless him,
and it really looked like he was going to retire. And all of a sudden he's like, nope, I want to come back for another year. And the Lions are like,
Well, not at $11 million.
Right, yeah. We'll renegotiate your deal.
And he didn't want to have anything to do with that.
No.
So, I don't know what they're going to do. They need bodies. The guys that they're signing right now, you got to fill out the 54-man roster. I mean, how many people do you have in camp? It's more like 75.
Oh,
or
yeah,
something,
almost
some
100 at one point.
Yeah.
They'll really just a bunch of practice bodies.
So I would, again, without beating a dead horse, we've said this for the last couple of weeks, are they waiting to see who they get in the draft before they address? That would be my guess where the rest of this sits. I mean, when's the draft? It's a month from today, something like that?
Yeah, this sounds about right. Yeah, right in mid-April. And is it in Pittsburgh this year?
It is in Pittsburgh this year. That's going to be...
Good sports town?
Yeah, that's going to be a great event.
It will.
I mean, Pittsburgh will do just as good a job as the Lions did. We won't be going.
No, we will not.
Although it's not a tough drive.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not unreasonable.
April 23rd through the 25th.
Okay.
So essentially a month from now.
Yes.
No,
I'm with you. That could very well be what they're doing, is to see how the draft falls and what they're going to get from that. And then that second or third wave of free agency, the guys that are out there. And hopefully, like you said, a Cam Jordan would be available. And hopefully, they're obviously, I would think, talking already and say, hey, don't do anything yet. Don't sign with anybody. Let us give you...
Well, I don't know what they're talking. That is wild conjecture.
It is. Oh, absolutely.
Cam and Dan might have had a conversation. Like, how's your body? What...
right. Got another year left in you?
Because I don't believe he's going back to St. Louis or to New Orleans.
New Orleans. No, they're in like total like rebuild. Even though Tyler Shuck played well.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
They're talking about Jordan Love being their draft pick. That certainly is not going to hurt things much. Jordan Love is going to be a really good
Jeremiah Love.
Jeremiah Love.
Yeah, the running back from Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
no, he's the real deal.
I know it's frustrating, but hopefully they know better than we do.
Right.
You know, if they don't, we're in a world of trouble.
Right.
That's like operating on yourself.
No.
Oh, my gallbladder needs some work.
Yeah,
Let me get right in there.
No, but you had mentioned, like, okay, I didn't know who Greg Dortch was, signing that a free agent receiver. But like you said, he's a guy that had played in Arizona, and he's a punt returner, kick returner guy.
And he was in the top 25% of returners last year, and Khalif Raymond signed by the Bears. The Bears.
The Bears.
So they needed, I think they're set, with Tesla, being able to fill the role on the receiving end of stuff. I don't think Tesla is a returner.
No.
Leaf has done a great job in that territory. So that's the impetus for that signing.
For sure.
And obviously our O coordinator is very familiar with Mr. Dortch.
He is, you'll see, for sure. That's
and DJ Woonham is had a really good year. What was it, 2023?
I remember when he played for Minnesota, and I remember watching the games and going, he stood out to me. He was a good player.
Well, he signed elsewhere as a free agent and hasn't been able to cash in. I don't know. I don't remember reading that it was a lot of injuries that curtailed him. So, it might have been one fantastic year.
Right.
That wasn't even really a fantastic year, Rich. That year you're talking about in Minnesota, he had 7.5 sacks.
Right, but he played well against the Lions.
Well,
the games
but he's a good two-way player. He can, he makes a lot of tackles. He stops the run.
He does, yep. And that's what it appears. That's obviously they don't want a one-trick pony where a guy can rush the passer and that's it. They want a guy that can be just as effective stopping the run.
So it will. Who knows what's going to happen on the Lions front? We've got Tiger Baseball last week of spring training.
Yes.
The season starts on Thursday, March 26th, so a week from yesterday. I think they play this weekend in Florida, as Kevin Klein pointed out, to play the Yankees this weekend. Right. Then they're going to play a couple of Cactus League games before they're on their way to San Diego.
Yes, right on the way.
Yeah. So, but leading to the most important point, we will be broadcasting live from the Silver Dollar on Thursday, March 26th, from 11 to 1 to the or no, it's not 11 to 1. That can't be right. I'm going to have to look at the times because that game is in the afternoon.
Yeah.
We might have to change the promo. Either way, I will change those promos. What time is that game, Rich? Talk for a minute.
All right. Tiger Baseball. Also, I wanted to mention real quick a little bit of boys' high school basketball finals that took place last Saturday. Rockford ended up winning Division I over East Lansing, 54-50. That's the first state championship for Rockford since 2003. And then the rest of the teams, Divisions 2, 3, and 4, kind of a rural setting for most of these teams. Freeland beating Hudsonville Unity Christian. For Freeland down in between Midland and Saginaw. That's their first state championship in basketball ever. So great job for them. Freeland, Pewamo Westphalia beat Pontiac A&T in Division 3. That is west of St. John's, for those wondering, where combination of Pewamo and Westphalia combined school district. And so they're the only team that won state championships this year that actually won their conference. 3 of the 4 teams did win their conference. So that shows you how. And Concord beat Detroit Douglas in Division 4. and that's southwest of Jackson, where Concord is. Another team that had never won a state championship. So
and the girls are headed there
tomorrow. Yep,
Yep.
and there's some semifinals going on today.
Yep.
Ishpeming is really the only northern team that's made it all the way to the finals.
Yep. The congratulations to Rockford. They had there was some great teams. They prevented East Lansing from becoming the back-to-back state championships, which I don't think has happened since like Flint Southwestern. In the 80s, or early 80s.
And they were dominant back then.
That doesn't happen very often in high school where you win. I mean, Rich and I have pointed out a number of times just how immensely difficult it is to win a state championship in the state of Michigan in basketball with only having 4 divisions as opposed to 8 in football.
Right.
That's why Rice has only won 1. It's funny when you say, "Oh, Rockford hasn't won one since 2013," like they hand them out like candy.
Yeah, exactly.
So, congratulations to them. It's I can only imagine what it feels like to win it all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I listened to it right here, and that was one of the games we covered, and it was a great listen.
All right, that's going to do it for us. No scoreboard show, no Sportscape show.
No.
There's not really. We're not going to do baseball or softball. I don't know when they're going to start playing baseball.
Yeah, up here. Yeah, I'm sure they're working out inside.
Yeah,
I'm
they're
sure.
working in the gyms. So hopefully we have a baseball season.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Yeah, bring your shovels.
All right, that's going to do it for us here on Up North Sports Radio's Friday Face-Off, brought to us by TVCAirport.com.
But I've seen you record these things, and you can be, as is typical, very amusing. I don't know what instructions you got, but it prompted this kid to come up to you and say something to you. And Kang and I could not stop laughing.
Dude, the funny thing is, he was patiently waiting.
Yes.
So I'm standing here, kind of wrapping
Polite?
up the show. Yeah. And I'm thinking, this guy really wants to talk to Gator because he's just waiting. I don't know how long you were going to talk to the one guy you kind of knew, right, who did work for you. And he waited, and he waited. I'm like, man, he cannot wait to just meet the Gator, right?
Well,
and then he meets you.
Oh, you guys tell the rest of it because I think you remember it verbatim more so than I do.
He leaned in. He said, "Yeah, I just wanted to come over and say hi. You did a cameo for us. You did our draft order in fantasy football, and you called me an arrogant P word. It rhymes with Rick.
Yeah.
And I've been sitting on that for a while here, and I just want to come up and say something. And been sitting on it for a few months, and I'm dying laughing. I'm like, why? What possessed